Hi everyone, welcome to another live workshop, another live needle felting workshop. Hope you are all managing to get on okay. I've just had a wee problem with the internet, but it all seems fine now. It's the normal solution, which is switch it off and then back on again, and that seems to have sorted everything out. It's great to be here again. We are going to be making this evening some needle felted snowmen. These guys are so easy to make. So if you've really wanted to try needle felting, you've sat on the needle felting fence, or you just want your confidence boosting, you're a nervous beginner, then this is the perfect tutorial for you. It's just such a lovely thing to make. I make them all the time. I love making them. You know, when you really don't want anything too complex or complicated, then these are absolutely just spot on, a bit like the gnomes. So these are what we're going to be making tonight. Hello everyone. Everyone seems to be hopping on now. Great to have you all here. Oh, there's so many of you. Thank you. Hi everyone. Hi. Lovely to see you all. Okay, so this is what we're going to be making tonight, but I just wanted to tell you about what we've already done. Many of you will know we did a workshop on the gnomes, so that is on the IGTV channel. You can do that. You can make the gnomes. Again, a really super easy workshop for you that's on there. So hop along afterwards if you want, or before Christmas, and make yourself some gnomes. And then coming up on the 19th of December, Saturday night, I believe it's a 6:30 till 8 p.m. workshop. So I'm going to be on Facebook, and we're going to be making these hanging tree decorations, these lovely fairies. And I think you'll admit they are absolutely gorgeous, and they're really easy to make. We're using pipe cleaners, a little bit of wire wrapping, simple easy wire wrapping, and pink as well, and then there's a blue one hung behind me, as you can see. So that's happening on the 19th. All you need to bring with you again is your wool stash. We'll be using wool tops and a couple of pipe cleaners. So pop along on the 19th. That will be on Facebook. The replays for all of these will be on YouTube, so if you can't get to any of them, don't worry. I'll leave them on Facebook, I'll leave them on Instagram, and I'll get them over to YouTube as well over the next couple of days. The fairy packs, if you don't have any of the wool that you need, then on my website, which is Lincolnshire Fenn Crafts, you can find the wool packs. So you can just purchase the wool packs. I think the pink have sold out. I'm not quite sure how many's left, but anyway, there's pink, blue, aqua, and something else available. They're £12, including UK postage, for the wool pack, and you get all of these lovely locks and the wool, the pipe cleaners, the sort of light flesh tone colour wool for the arms. And I'll be showing you how to add some of these really cute face details. Those freckles are done with a Sharpie, really easy. So I'm all about making things easy. So that is going to be an amazing workshop, and it will really get us all in the festive mood. The week before Christmas, the Saturday before Christmas, and I think it finishes half an hour after Strictly starts or something like that. So you might have to watch both of them at the same time. But I'm trying not to interrupt your Saturday night too much. So and then if the kids are around, they can get involved as well. And then in the new year, I'm going to be doing, probably the first one I'll do will be a really simple needle felted picture workshop. So we'll be doing something really simple, some really simple needle felted pictures, and on the back here you can, this is pre-felt, so we'll be needle felting onto, this is Shetland pre-felt. All the things I mentioned are in the shop if you want them, but you can get them all over the internet. So we're going to do something really simple in the new year, and these pictures are really easy. It might not be this picture, but it'll be something very similar. Okay, but tonight we are making these. So we've got quite a lot of you on now. So yeah, let's get going then. I'm just going to flip the phone down so you can see what I'm doing. Just so you know, you're going to need some wool batting, which is this. This is flat carded wool that's processed into flat sheets. You can also get long lengths, but this is the best stuff for doing what we're going to be doing, because we're going to be making soft sculpture. So the batting is going to wrap around our core. You're going to need some core wool for the middle. A core wool just means what you're using for the inside of your project. So I've got 2 lots here, but you can just create your own by taking your wool top and just fluffing it up, and there you've created your core. But I'll show you that as we go along. Really easy, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Okay, right, let's get going. So you can see everything okay? Good. Right, okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make the inside of the body, and we're going to use some core wool for this. So I've got 3 pieces of core wool in different sizes. So you've got your large, your medium, and then your small, which is going to be the head. You can use, I'm using the grey. This is just some waste wool. I'm using the grey just so you can see the contrast. You might have something from my shop like this, which is the core wool that I sell, and this is kind of shorter, looser fibres. But like I said, if you've just got wool tops or carded wool, then all you need to do is just pull it apart and use it exactly the same way. So you can use whatever you have. Okay, so we're going to take the largest piece of core wool here, and this, to be honest, there's very little needle felting goes on here. So I am just going to take my standard needle. You don't want a fine needle. You can tell if it's pretty strong, if it doesn't bend too much, you know that's just like a standard needle. Don't sort of get too hung up on the gauges, but that is a 38 star, if that helps. If you have a fine needle, you will notice that there's much more bend on it, and we use those for fine details like the face, but we probably don't even need that for this project at all. Just using this one needle is absolutely fine. If you want to use 2 and you haven't got a gadget to hold 2, just hold them both in your hands. Speeds up the process. So lay out your core wool, and then all you're going to do is you're going to sort of fold it and wrap it in to a circle. You want a circle shape, and just hold it with your fingers. Just take your one needle and just tack that into place with your needle, or felt it into place, should I say, and it soon starts to hold. And the great thing about this is it doesn't matter about the shape, because we're going to wrap this. This is all going to be covered. Any lumps and bumps are going to be smoothed out. So really all you want to do is just felt that, ouch, until it holds. And can you see how already we've got this nice sort of round shape that's going to create the base of our snowman. And like I said before, this is a really easy project. And especially, like I say, if you're really lacking in confidence, then I would absolutely recommend doing this. There's no right or wrong. All these lumps and bumps won't be visible. And also use your hands as well. You can use your hands. It's a bit like creating sort of a bread roll shape. Use your hands just to manipulate that shape. And then we're going to do a slightly smaller one. I will bring the camera back up and just talk to you about techniques and things while you're doing this. But it's very quick. It doesn't take long at all, which is why I can do this in an hour. And again, this is just waste wool. But any wool will suffice. See, that's already almost done for the middle part of the body. But can you see we've got 2 shapes there, and we're going down in size. And then the head is the smallest piece, but with this, just do the head a little bit firmer because we are going to be adding details to this one. So just keep pulling over with your fingers. You see that? Keep your fingers out of the way, be careful, you don't want to stab yourself. Keep pulling it over so it becomes nice and tidy. Turn it over and then just go around. And it won't be a perfect circle, and that doesn't matter, doesn't need to be. That's the great thing about needle felting. It's such a relaxed craft. There's no sort of tricky, difficult patterns to follow. There's no tiny stitches to learn. And once you have learned how to create your basic shapes, then you know you can try anything. Just take your time though. Don't expect to become a master at needle felting when you first start. It's just not going to happen. You know, there's some amazing masterpieces out there, but they all started, you know, like this, making basic shapes. And there we go. So as you can see, we've now got our 3 shapes going down in size to the head. Nice and soft. Doesn't want to be firm, which is actually quite unusual for me because I usually felt really firmly. But when you're doing soft sculpture, again, you know, the clue's in the name, it needs to be soft. And that's why it's so quick to do as well. And there's no difficult shapes to make. So once you've got your 3 shapes ready, you're going to take a piece of your batting. If you haven't got batting and you are working from a wool top, that's fine. You can still wrap that wool top around. You can still work with your wool top, so don't think, oh, I haven't got any batting, I can't do it. You can, but it's just easier with the batting. It takes a little less time. So I'm just going to pull this apart and we're going to wrap up this shape that we've created. So it doesn't really matter what side is what because it's all going to be, you know, you're not going to see the bottom and you're not going to see the middle. So let's have a look. We'll go here. So just pull in one side of that wool batting over to the centre, so you've got that laid on top, and then pull over another piece and make sure you pull it over quite tightly but don't tear it. So pull it over tightly with your fingers. It wants to be nice and snug, and then pull over this. This is white Jacob batting I think I'm using. Lovely natural wool. Perfect for needle felting. A medium coarse wool. I think I've mentioned before, but merino is a little bit fine because it shows a lot of needle marks. You can use it, it's absolutely fine to use, but it just takes a bit more working, and the needle marks show a lot more. And then I've got quite a lot there, so if you've got a lump like this, can you see how that's all coming together? If you've got a lump like that, then just pull it away. And that's with carded wool, that's the beauty of it, because it's very short fibres. You can pull bits off really easily. And then you're bringing everything into the centre, because this is going to be the base of the snowman. We're not even going to see this. So can you see you've got a really basic shape there? Now I'm just going to go on. Can you see how it's not quite round around these edges? So just go around with your needle and just gently poke those in, but do it underneath where you can't see any marks. I mean, carded wool for this project is very forgiving as far as needle marks are concerned. In fact, the wool tops are as well if you're using the coarse ones like the Jacob or a Shetland. There's so many. I have there's actually on my blog I have quite a long post, which is quite a new post that I did, all about the types of needle felting wools. And what I've done at the bottom of that post is it's a really handy guide, quick guide to the best needle felting wools. Really, really useful. I spent a lot of time on that post, and it's definitely worth a read if you're not familiar with felting wools, or you're not sure what to buy. Then it's a real help. There's a lot of video tutorials on there as well. There we go. So there we go. That is the base of our snowman. And then we're going to repeat the process for the next piece. So let's just take that off, because I know we're not going to need all of that. If you're using a rice mat like this one, then always make sure you've got a piece of felt on top of it, because it will just make that mat last so much longer. If you're continually felting, then you will eventually get holes in this. But if you put on a piece of felt, it lasts, I don't know, it's sort of 10x's the time it's going to last. And also, don't keep felting in the same place. Turn it over, move it around. But these are great. That's just Hessian. That's quite a tight weave Hessian that I use, because it lasts a lot longer. And then I use that. And then obviously, if you've got the foam mat, I'll just quickly show you. Here we go. So this is the foam mat as well, and I use both. If you're using the foam mat, a lot of people complain that they get the foam tangled in the wool. Well, the reason that's happening is because what you're doing is you are pushing through that wool and right through that foam mat. So as you're coming out, you're pulling out bits of foam and it's tangling with your wool. There really is no need to be going into that foam at all. If you're doing 3D, shouldn't be going into the foam at all. If you're doing flat felting, then you really should be going just through the very top of that foam and then turning and moving your work around. And that will stop all of that. What you don't want to be doing is pushing right the way through the wool. Your foam pad won't last, and you'll end up with lots of foam in the actual wool. The other trick is to use some firm upholstery foam. Don't use like a kitchen sponge, as that's a guarantee that you're going to end up with lots of foam in your wool, because it will just break up. It's not designed for needle felting. If that's all you've got, it's fine, but just go extra careful. So second piece, ready to wrap. Again, same, pull it over. And don't worry if you know, if you're still on the first part, this will be on a replay, I think pretty much straight afterwards, so you can come back to it. Same as you did before. I've got quite a big lump there. Pull that off. Keep pulling these in and make sure it's nice and secure. You don't want any baggy bits. Pulling this in creates that really nice smooth shape. And then just use your needle just to bring everything towards the middle. And then again, go around with that and just tidy up those sides so it's nice and smooth and even. And there you go. That's part number 2. And if the middle part, like mine, looks quite big, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that in a little bit tighter. This is how easy it is to adapt and reshape. Just pull it in, pull those sides in, and it just reduces the size a little bit. Because when you actually wrap it, it's quite amazing how much bigger it actually is. There we go, that's a bit better. There we go. So that's body part number 2. And then what we've got here, we've got the head. I'm just going to go around it again, just to firm that up. Remember I said we needed this to be firmer because we're going to be adding all these face details on. And what we don't want to do is lose them into the wool because it's too soft. There we go. And then if it's a bit flat, just roll it around. Really want this head to be the nice round shape. See, just by doing that, we've got a nice round shape there. Okay, and then we don't need anything too big for this. In fact, that should do it. So lay that down, pull this over quite tight. Just don't tear it. And remember, pull it all towards the centre. There we go. That's coming together nicely now. Just keep pulling it, moving around. Looking a bit flat there, so let's just roll it again. Pull in those edges. This is all going underneath, so this is the bit that's going to attach to the middle part of the body. You're not going to see any of this. This is the bit that we're going to see. Okay, so there we go. Our 3 pieces ready to attach. So there we go. So that's the first part done. I'll just pop back up. Right, how are you all doing? Are you all doing okay? Anyone who's actually felting now? I'm just going to have a look at these messages. I'm sorry if I don't get to all your messages. There's quite a lot of you on, but if anyone, I know there's a lot of people who I know on here who are really good felters. So if you see any questions come up that I haven't answered, it'd be great if you could maybe just pop your own thoughts in the comments for people. Hi everyone, yeah. Just seeing if there's any questions. Lovely to see you all. Oh, there's so many of you on here. It's really nice. Let's have a look. The fairies are going to be amazing. Yes, I am so looking forward to the fairies. Hi from Canada. Oh. Okay, I think we're okay. I keep flicking up onto the white bar for some reason. I think I've got... Okay, that's good. So I can't really see anything that's pressing that needs answering. But like I say, if anyone does, then please feel free to answer for me. Okay, right, so now you should have these 3 all ready to go. So we're going to join those together now. Here we go. And joining together is the easiest thing in the world. We're just going to pop one on top of the other and use our needle to push through to tangle the wool fibres from here into here. Now what you can do is, if you want it to be even more secure, you can actually put a little bit of fresh wool in between, and then you've got some nice fresh wool there that will help tangle them together. So just hold it like so, get your needle, and when you're pushing all the way through to the bottom piece, can you see? So you're going all the way through. Don't worry about any marks you're leaving because this is going to be covered. And then just move around, push right through, and already you can see that's pretty firmly joined. And then what we can do afterwards, we can actually go around and tidy up these shapes. So there we go. Got a little indentation in the middle there. It doesn't matter because the head's going to pop on there anyway. So there we go. Okay, can you see how that is attached? It's just so easy. And then what you can do is, we can maybe go around and just use your needle diagonally and just taper these edges down a little bit again, just to reduce that size further. And then just go along the centre there, and then just push in any wool that's poking out anywhere that just looks a bit untidy. There we go, and then we can squish that. So can you see? That's 2 parts attached. And then we're going to take the head, and the head's going to have a hat on, if I have time, which I should do. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do exactly the same, go through the top of the head, like so, and push that into the base of the middle part. Again, just because I've flattened and compressed a lot of this wool here, it might be a little bit more difficult to attach. So I'm just going to put a little bit of fresh wool in the middle bit there. I'm going to sit the head on. Oops. Hold, and then just go straight through the top, backwards and forwards. Keep it held down though, because if you don't, it will lift back off. Keep it held down, come out, go through somewhere else, come back out, go through somewhere else, come back out. Maybe you're pushing right through into the centre of the middle part of the body. There we go, and that's nicely on. Now can you see there's a few needle marks there? All you do is just run your nail or your finger, you won't see this but we'll do it anyway so we know it's done. It's just a tip for any other projects. And can you see how that has gone? So now we've got Snowman part number 3 attached, and again go around the middle and just tuck in any loose unruly bits. It's such a quick project this, so easy, but it looks brilliant. There we go. And then I'm just going to use my hands just to bring that shape back. And can you see? Your snowman is ready for some details. Again, just make sure it's nice and firm. Go around the edges and where it's joined. And we're going to have a scarf on here as well, so we won't even see that. And then have a look, find out which is the best bit to use for the front. I think I'll go there. And we'll pop a couple of buttons on. So you need some dark wool, black, dark brown, whatever you've got, or a contrasting colour. I've got some, this is Blueface Leicester, so this is a pure black, jet black, and then I've got a very dark brown stroke black Jacob here. Again, that's a little bit more cost. Blueface Leicester's nice for details, but I tend to not use it for the core or when I want a really firm felt, just because it's a little bit finer than the Jacob and the Shetland, but for details and you know for the core, if you want, it's absolutely fine. But you'll learn what preferences you have as you carry on needle felting and learning more and more. So just take a little piece of the wool in your hand, tiny little piece, and then just roll it around in your fingers. And then just pop it where it wants to go. You might need to just hold it, but we'll see if we can get away without doing that. Just hold it as you felt it on. And don't over felt it, you don't want to lose it, you just want it tacked on. And you see, there we go. And then we're going to do the same again, a little bit of wool, really small amount, and just roll it in your fingers. You don't want it too firm, you just want it nice and soft so you can reshape it as you're felting it. And then just be really careful of your fingers. Use your nail if you can, and then, you know, when you're using a knife, you're always told to use your nail as the guide, or the thing that's nearest to it, then it stops you from stabbing yourself. You will stab yourself, but that does help. There we go. So we have our buttons there. You can make them bigger if you want. You can add more. I've just added a couple. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the face. And this is the bit that you will find tricky, because we need to make this mouth really, really thin. And these eyes don't want to be too big. They just want to be probably about the size of the buttons that I've got on. So what we'll do is we'll do the eyes first. So again, 2 very small pieces of wool. I mean, I'm talking tiny pieces. You see that? And then just, in fact, they might be too big, so I'll even split that in half. Remember, you can always add some more. And again, just roll that in the palm of your hand till you get a little ball of soft wool. There we go. Might be too big, that, but we shall see. There we go. Okay. Roughly work out the centre of the face. In fact, that is definitely going to be too big. Can you see that? So I'm just going to pull a little bit off. Just roll that again. There we go. So just pop that there. Again, hold with your finger if you need to. And just gently poke it in. Don't overdo it. There you go. Can you see? So that's to one side of the buttons. And then repeat for the other eye. What you'll probably end up doing is taking them off and doing it again. You know, you can do that quite a few times. I often do it. In fact, probably almost always. Again, opposite side. Push in. And can you see as you're pushing in how that needle is drawing that wool into the centre, and it's actually creating that circle without you having to actually do a great deal. I'll probably end up pulling these off and doing them again and putting them closer, but that'll do for now. Okay, so there's our eyes. We're going to do the carrot nose. So I have some orange wool here. You can use batting, carded wool, wool top, it doesn't matter. Anything you've got. Then all I'm going to do, so just a wisp of wool, and then I'm just going to, again, roll that in the palm of your hand into a little ball. So it's quite scruffy, quite a scruffy ball. And then leaving one end loose, here, just rub your finger really, really hard on that. And can you see how we've shaped it into a point? But what we've got here is we've got some nice loose wool that we're actually going to attach to the face. So again, pop it down, really rub with your finger, and you can see how pointy and firm that is now. We're going to stick that in the middle of the face, and then this loose bit, in fact, I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to show you this way. Lay it down flat like so, and just where that loose bit is, keep felting, and can you see how that just brings up the nose? And then you can, it's quite a long nose and you may want it long, but if you want it shorter, if you just keep working around, it will draw that wool into the head and actually shorten it. Can you see? And there, that's it. That's your carrot nose. It's as simple as that. Don't have it too short. If it's too short, it doesn't work quite as well. You want it quite a good length. There we go. Let me have a look. Now I've realised that my eyes are in the wrong place completely, so I'm just going to pull them out because you haven't over felted them. You've just tacked them in gently, and I'm going to do them again. What probably would be better actually is to do your nose first. Doing it a bit backwards actually, and then you've got a centre point. And then I'm just going to put them a little bit closer together this time. That's a bit better. And another piece. Because you're working with just such tiny amounts of wool, if it's not right, don't keep trying. Just take it out and do it again. I always say that in my workshops, when we're working on face details, rather than trying to fix it, it's often better just to pull it off and start again. Now I'm just going to make these a bit smaller by continuing to push that wool into the head. That's better. There we go. So that's coming along nicely now. And then on mine, just to add some character, I've got some little eyebrows, which I really, really like. So I'm going to put some on. Now, when I say you want a tiny amount, whatever tiny amount you've got, reduce it by half because it won't be small enough. A tiny amount in your hand there, and then just roll. You see, it's just tiny. And then we're going to just pop that above the eye. Now, if you've got a finer needle, then this is probably the time to use that, but you don't need to. If you haven't, it doesn't matter. If you've got one, then this is a good time to be using it. And then just, you see what I've done there? I've just taken one end and I've just gently pushed it into the wool. And then I'm just going to go across and do the other. And this is the moment when you will probably do this 3 or 4 times before you're happy with it. And you can just use your needle just to tease it. So I've lost some of that wool in there, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. Because it looks like he's got a shaved eyebrow now. Which is fine if that's the look you're going for. And then just pop a little bit of wool on top there and just fill it in. And if there's any wispy bits that you can't kind of felt away, you can just use a little pair of scissors and just trim them away. And then we'll do the other one. Again, just a tiny little piece. Just roll it backwards and forwards, just so you mat it a little bit, and put that above the other eye. Again, one side. Try and hold on to the other end with your finger because it disappears into that wool really easily. And then just go over and felt that in. And you can have them sort of sloping down or any way you wish. But that will be something you will sort of probably come back to. But just practice that. There we go. So we are almost ready for the smile. Let's have a look. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? You all doing okay? Okay, that explains a lot. Thank you. Oh, your hair is gorgeous. Thanks, Aussie Joy. Thank you. I curled it. My hair is actually so straight and I love curly hair. Yep. Excellent. Please be watching this again. That's great. Okay. Damn my old phone and poor Wi-Fi. Awkward octopus. You don't have much luck, do you? I think you had a problem last time. It's okay. It'll be on the replay. I use another needle. Oh, this is awkward octopus. I use another needle to hold the tiny parts in place and stab with the other. Good idea. Yeah, Trudy 0013. Sandy has a really good guide. Oh, she's talking to Fifi Tricks. Yeah, Sandy has a really good guide to felting needles on her blog as well as types of wool. Well worth signing up to the newsletter and blog if you haven't already on the website. Couldn't agree more. Sign up to the newsletter and the blog. It is all in one place. Yeah, and the great thing about this project as well is a lot of us, I think, have lost our crafting mojo over the last few months. It's been really hard. Yeah, it's been a rotten damn year. And I think the best thing you can do when you're feeling like that is tackle something really simple. So something like this is just the best thing to do because it's really fast and you feel like you've achieved something and it kind of just gets you in the mood again and it's so festive. So here we are. And you see how much character these little eyebrows add as well. And you can have them in different directions for sort of different looks. Okay. Right, so we're going to do the mouth. This is where the fun begins. Here we go. Right, let me find my fine... there we go. I think that's my fine needle. Yeah, so I'm going to use a fine needle for this. You don't need one, but I'm going to use mine just because I don't want to be here for forever wasting lots of time when we could be doing something else. So when I say you need a thin piece of wool, I mean really thin. The trick is with this is there's a very fine line between making him look really jolly or the best friend of the clown from It. I mean, really, he can look really sinister if you do this too thick. So it really does need to be thin. And can you see how thin that is? And it wants to be longer than you're going to need because you can trim the ends and you will pull some of that wool into the face. So I'm going to go, I want quite a big grin. So I'm going to start here, right there. Let's have a look, with some overhang there. And I'm going to put my finger there, and it's all technique, so that I don't lose all of this here. And I'm just going to push that in. And can you see how that's being drawn in? There. And then I'm going to go around here, and I'm not going to felt all the way around. I'm just going to go around here. And I kind of want a lopsided grin, so I'm going to go a bit higher. So I'm just going to go over to here and just poke that in there. Really, really gently, and don't worry about these little wispy bits. This is going rather well for me. I normally have to do this a few times, and you could end up doing this 5-6 times before you're happy with it, but it is worth doing. And then with the rest of it, just gently go along. Really don't push into the face too much. You just so it holds. And then once you've got your position, oh, very pleased with that. Now that's very unusual for me to get that almost right first time. I'm pretty impressed with that. Okay, don't overfelt it. Now you can see you've got a loose bit there. Just push it in gently, and then any excess, just take your scissors and just trim. And there we go. You can see that. Really pleased with that. It's just like my eye makeup, Posh Panda. I create one perfect eyebrow, but the other doesn't match it. Exactly. Yeah, needle felting when you're doing face details is it's a laugh. Yes, that's exactly how it is. And then I think on here I've popped. I'm not going to push my look, but I've popped a couple of little lines just along the edge there. So that is our face. Yeah. I'm pleased with that. Awkward octopus. I foresee multiple attempts on my part. Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. So we're almost ready to do the hat and the scarf. I don't even know what the time is. Can someone tell me what the time is? No idea. My clock stopped behind me. Okay, right. So the next part, you want some wool top or carded wool, doesn't matter. Any colour you like, whatever you want your scarf or hat to be. This is like a multicoloured wool, which is really nice. I think if you've got the kit, everything that I'm doing now is what's in the kit, so it's all in there. I think you've even got the wooden sticks for the arms in there. So you've got all of that if you've got the kit, if that's what you're working from. So it's exactly the same as what we're doing now. I'm going to go with this nice sort of, I think that's like a teal color, 745. Wow. Now apparently I can go on for longer than an hour, so I'm told. So if I do go on for longer than an hour and I get cut off, then that's not the case. So what I'm going to take your Snowman and just have a look and just check the sort of length with the wool that you're going to use for your scarf. I'm just going to stretch that out a little bit further. Okay, so we've got a nice length there. Then just fold over the ends and tack with your needle, and this just tidies up those ends straight away. Okay, if you're using your pad, your foam mat, that's exactly the same. And you've already created that kind of scarf shape, so now we've just got to firm it up and neaten it. So you can use your two needles together. If you haven't got any handles, that's fine. Just go along, hold them together. You can put an elastic band around them or some tape and just go along and just start to firm that up. Don't worry about the shape at the moment because we're going to fold this in half. Doesn't want to be too thick either, wants to be nice and thin. But I'm just going to pop it on here because I'm going to use my punch needle, which has got 7 needles in, and this is super fast. And that felts it up really, really quickly. I love this gadget. The flat felting, can't go wrong with these. This isn't a clover, it's about half the price of a clover gadget. It does exactly the same thing. And they're all made in the same place. Okay, so can you see how that's coming together? Now it's obviously it's really, really wide. So I'm just going to fold that over like so. And then I'm just going to felt those ends together. And you will spend more time on this than me. I'm just speeding this up. Okay, and again, I'm just going to fold that edge over and I'm going to go back to my fast felting tool. Why wouldn't you? What is the multi-orange called? Lovely. I think that is from World of Wool, and I think it's a. If you look at it's something called Humbug. If you look at the Humbug wool, and I believe that is a blend of Corriedale or Merino and silk, but it's really nice. They've got a lot of colours. So you see how that now is starting to hold its shape. The blue is lovely. This is Corriedale. I think it's teal, something like that. All right, so mine's a bit scruffy because I'm just, you know, doing it quite quickly so I can get through the video. But just if your ends are untidy like that, don't cut them. If you cut them, you'll cut through all the fibres and it will split. Just fold over the end, and then that neatens it, and do the same with the other end. Okay, and then all you're going to do is wrap that around, and then you're going to pop in just where you've crossed it over. Just felt really gently, you don't want to overdo it, and then if there's any needle marks, just use your needle just to gently brush them out. There we go. And then if it's a bit thick, it's a bit wide mine, so just use your needle again just to pull that wool down and around so we don't lose the shape of that head. Okay. Will the comments be on the replay as still on the body? Or stop and get pen? The comments, I don't think on Instagram the comments will be on the replay. But you'll hear me sort of replying to comments, so you'll be okay. That's the difference between Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, the comments all stay on, and then Instagram they don't for some reason. So there we go. So lovely scarf. There we go. And then for the hat, I'm not sure if my way is the right way to make the hat, but I found that you can either, as you did with the scarf, in fact I'm going to do it this way. Try it this way anyway. As you did with the scarf, just lay out a length nice and flat, fold over those edges so it's nice and neat, and fold over the ends. Oops. There's several ways to do this. This is just one of them. This is just an easy way. And then what you can do, just pull that off. If you just create a little cylinder, so here we go, got it lengthwise there, and then just curl it round into a cylinder, so you've got that hole in the middle there, and then just tack that down on the other side just so it holds. So go on the inside and just tack it down. And then pull in around the edges so that we kind of tidy up the base. You're wondering how this is going to be the hat, aren't you? It's really easy. So then you end up with something like that, which is going to sit like that. So we've got a bit of a Russian style hat going on here at the moment. Then what you do is you gather the top bit together like that, just felt it around the top, this bit's going to be like the bobbly bit. Take a length of your wool or some thread, just tie that around it is. There it is. Use my needle just to pull that out. Tie that around so you've created that bobble at the top there. Trim those bits off or wrap them round if you wish. And then go around the other way. Do the same again. Okay, and then it's just a bit untidy here, so you will need to work on it a lot longer than I am, but just make sure that seam is secure, and then make sure you've got that piece there, can you see? And then pop that on the head. Just make sure the seam's at the back. Mine's maybe a little bit small, and then just work your way around. Pop that hat on, work your way around. Can you see how you've got that hat on? And then if the edge is a bit untidy, you can just create a band with your wool top. Just take a thin piece, like so, roll it in your hand, smooth it and mat it. And then pop in there, can you see? And then lay that around the front of the hat, and that again tidies it up and creates that nice band. And it's a really quick way of doing it, really easy way. Just go around, meet at the back, cross them kind of over so that there's no gap. And then just, if it's really long, I've got a long bit here, this is the bit you can actually trim that. I'm not going to see that. Won't matter, it's not an integral part. So mine's a bit skew-with, but to be fair, I did do it very, very quickly, but there you go. And then you can also, if you want a bit of a fluffy top, you can just trim into the kind of top knotty bit and just create that sort of pom-pommy effect. Okay, how are we all doing? All right, so, and then the final and most important thing actually is stick arms. Just go in the garden, grab yourself a couple of sticks. Now, you can glue them in if you want, but often, I might be able to do this, you can just twist, because this is a really soft sculpture, you can just twist those arms in to the side of the body. Like so. So no need for any glue. No need for a pokey tool. Although bradawls are absolutely brilliant. Everyone should have a bradawal. There we go. And that is your gorgeous snowman. I'm just going to move his scarf over a little bit so you can see his buttons. There we go. And there he is. And whatever soft sculpture you're making, I mean, this is my shroom house. Again, the base of that, exactly the same. The top, exactly the same, with a firmer wool top for the actual house part. So you've got really nice, and then here you've just created a little garden, so you can do all sorts. Then this is something else, just more of the same. This is like a little honey pot cottage. So again, you've got that nice soft base with a firmer hive, and then wrapped with some nice yellow wool batting and some little bumbleys put on. And then these little flower there, these are actual kits. These are actually kits in the range. So that's it really. That's how you make your snowman. Super easy. If you want to make something that's seasonal but not quite as fully festive, then you could go for something like the winter hare. If you pop onto the Lincolnshire Fenn Crafts website, I think I've got something like 40 different needle felting kits there, ranging from soft sculpture styles to my more traditional sort of firm felts, which are the hares, the foxes, the woodland theme. And don't forget, you've got your gnome tutorial, so you've got that to have a look at. If you go onto YouTube, my YouTube channel, you can make a hare or a sheep from start to finish using the video tutorials. There's a series of video tutorials. So don't forget, 19th of December, I will be on Facebook. We will be making fairies. These gorgeous little creatures. And just bring wool tops and some pipe cleaners and something for the hair. It doesn't have to be curly, just your wool tops are absolutely fine. And if you want a fairy pack, then just pop up. You can go over to the website. There's not sure how many's left, but you can go over to the website and get yourself a wool pack from there. I need to modify the hat, Posh Panda, but thank you. I love your blog and all your helpful advice. Kiss, kiss. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Posh Panda. Never did needle felting. Now I have to try it. Well, there you go. That's a result, Kathleen. Thanks, everyone. Just off to the garden for stick arms, yeah? Just go in the garden, find some sticks, and make yourself a snowman. I mean, how gorgeous is he going to look amongst your Christmas decorations? And something you can do with the kids as well. It's you know, it's a nice, simple project. Just make sure you supervise the kids, because those needles do hurt. So be careful. Will we have time to get the kits shipped to the US? This weekend really is the last date for ordering. I would get your order in this weekend. I mean, as with any post, I cannot guarantee a delivery, but as things are getting there okay within a couple of weeks. So yeah, you know, but I can't guarantee it. You know, it's that time of, it's a kind of year where you can't guarantee anything with deliveries, but yeah, by all means. Okay, right, oops, flathead. Yeah, don't worry, Pops 15, you'll be able to sort that out. Just watch the replay. And thanks to everyone for coming. Again, don't forget, subscribe to the blog or YouTube. You'll get your notifications. So when I'm putting up new video tutorials, which I do on there quite a lot, or new blog posts, then they will come straight through to you. And hopefully I will see many of you on the 19th of December. So, you know, go off, finish your snowmen, watch the replay, and just have a really, really good time. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.